A mother cat cried out, but no one listened, until now. Her sharp, desperate meows cut through the noise of the city, high-pitched and haunting, impossible to ignore for anyone willing to hear. But most people just kept walking. Skinny and dirty, her fur dull and clumped, she crouched at the edge of the sidewalk, her tail flicking nervously as cars rushed by. Again she cried, louder this time, her green eyes darting from face to face, silently begging for someone, anyone, to see her. Most barely glanced her way before hurrying off, unwilling to carry her burden. But one man stopped, almost instinctively, as if that cry had reached some quiet, hidden place inside him. Their eyes met. And in that instant, he knew, this wasn't just hunger or fear. This was something more urgent. Slowly, he crouched, his hand reaching out. The cat flinched but didn't run. Instead, she meowed softly, took a cautious step away, then paused to glance back. Her tail stayed low, but her gaze seemed to ask, "Will you follow?" The man hesitated only a second before rising to his feet, feeling an odd determination he couldn't quite explain. The cat weaved ahead, her delicate paws gliding across the concrete with purpose, yet every few feet she stopped, turning her head to ensure the man was still behind her. They slipped into an alley, leaving the noise of the street behind. The air cooled, and the man felt his pulse quicken, curiosity and worry rising in equal measure. At the edge of a crumbling courtyard, the cat finally stopped. The ground was covered in weeds and broken glass, and an old wooden fence leaned helplessly against a cracked wall. For a moment, nothing moved, just silence, heavy and tense. Then the man noticed it, a faint quiver under a splintered board. A tiny paw reached out, claws barely gripping the wood before retreating. He stepped closer and saw them, 4 kittens, no more than a few weeks old, huddled in a shallow hollow. Their fur was filthy and wet, their eyes half shut, tiny ribs rising and falling with effort. One gave a soft, pitiful cry, and the mother immediately pressed her nose to them, as if to say, "It's all right now." The man felt his chest tighten, realizing just how long this cat had waited on that street, risking everything for someone to notice. He knelt down, speaking gently, though his voice trembled. The mother cat hovered close, her eyes wide and shining with both fear and trust, her body stiff but unmoving. As the man carefully reached in, lifting each kitten into his arms, the cats circled anxiously, licking their tiny heads and brushing against his hands. Each kitten felt impossibly light yet heavy with meaning, as though holding them carried the weight of a promise. When all 4 were tucked into the soft towel he brought, the man extended his hand once more. The mother stared at him, torn between fear and hope, but finally stepped forward, allowing herself to be lifted, her body curling protectively around her babies. As they walked back toward the street, the cat kept looking over her shoulder, her green eyes still watchful, as though she couldn't yet believe this was real. But when the man opened his car door, the cat leapt in without hesitation, wrapping her slender body around her kittens as though shielding them from everything she had endured. At the shelter, warmth replaced the damp chill of the courtyard. They were gently cleaned and fed, their tiny bodies inspected with care. The kittens finally slept deeply, curled together in a soft bed, no longer shivering. The mother lay beside them, her eyes meeting the man's again and again, gratitude shining through the exhaustion. Weeks passed, and they flourished. The kittens grew strong, their fur sleek and glossy, their playful spirits returning. The mother too began to trust, her gaze softening with each passing day. Soon, families came for the kittens, people who promised to love them as fiercely as their mother had.